In the vise we have a ZX-6 Kawasaki 636 upside down fork, and what we're going to do with that today is a basic fork oil service. Why is it in the vise? Well, we want to show you a couple things. One, obviously the preload adjuster is anodized a very different color to the fork itself, and also the preload adjuster is engraved with lines. So if we've got a bunch of lines showing, you really don't have much preload installed on the spring at all. And obviously if there's no lines showing, then you have all the preload installed. Also at the top we have our rebound adjuster, and when you're doing a basic fork oil service, you really need to know where you're at. You don't have to change the settings on preload and rebound at all, but it's always good to know where you're at so you can match it to the other fork. So we always clamp, and in this instance we have our Motion Pro vise, the fork itself in the area where the triple clamp is, because that's the thickest and the most robust, so make sure it's nice and snug, which it is. We'll grab a screwdriver and we want to see where our rebound adjuster is. So half one, half two. 2 turns out. So backing it out, we should see about 3 turns to 3.5 turns in a standard cap in terms of the setting. Half one, half two. Ooh. So this has had the cap off in the past and it's only got 2 turns. Is that the end of the world? Actually, no, it's not. There's something called range in an adjuster. So to give you a quick, concise example, if you open a faucet on a tap and at 2 turns you have full flow, but you still go to 5 turns, it's still giving the same amount of flow. You only need 2 turns. Well, the range on this is right at 2 turns. So only having 2 turns isn't the end of the planet. It just means that we'll have very precise adjustments from here on out. So it was at 2 out. Let's leave it at 2 out. In terms of preload, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 lines showing. We don't necessarily need to change the preload adjuster itself. We just need to remember where it is. So our next job, let's go ahead and break the fork cap loose. There. So now we need to go ahead and remove the fork from the vise and empty the oil from the outer cartridge. Remember, this has a cartridge fork, so there's an inner cartridge full of oil. That's going to take a while for us to get to that. So